My name is Bianca, and I'm gonna read a little bit of my self-evaluation. So going into this course, I didn't expect to learn much because it's common for me to take a class, dedicate myself to it, get an A, and then proceed to forget everything I had learned throughout the course. However, I do believe I attained something valuable from this class because I'm now even more aware of the way that society invisibly shapes our beliefs, of the way in which films can be propagandistic. We spoke about that a lot in this course, and of the way in which we are coerced to conform. I have had the opportunity to hold my personal knowledge next to ideas championed by great thinkers, comparing and contrasting them. And since this was an exercise I performed throughout the semester, inside and outside of these journal entries, I will definitely do so more in my day-to-day life. On a more academic remark, this course also helped me retain information better because we had some challenging readings, in my opinion. So it helped me in my ability to paraphrase and interpret more complex texts. And for me, authors such as Erich Fromm, Antonio Gramsci, and Ivan Illich were some of the most challenging for me to digest. Yet, reading my journal entries, at the end of the year, I believe I successfully met the expectations I set for myself. Furthermore, I am already noticing changes in my perceptions of the world since starting this course. For example, I consciously related class concepts to every movie I saw throughout the semester, pretty much. For example, when watching horror movies like Midsommar, The Lighthouse, I also watched The Witch. I thought about the different displays of violence by the media and reflected about how much it was cathartic versus how much it was for the sake of, entertainment violence, which is something we discussed a lot. I also watched Y Tu Mamá También, and I recalled censorship behind the rating of movies and the societal lenience when it comes to violence as opposed to sex and nudity in film. Another movie that I watched this semester was Dead Poets Society, which I used for my term paper. And I was able to directly associate Nussbaum's, Einstein's, and Hooke's teachings about critical thinking and conformity to the story, as well as the importance of valuing the humanities and incentivizing art. Additionally, some of my beliefs were challenged, and I believe it is healthy to evaluate your opinions. I always was a believer that people exaggerated when blaming violent video games and movies for the violence we see in the real world. I never really paid attention to these arguments. However, after watching the required videos and reading the required texts, mainly Cicela Bock's Mayhem, I reconsidered my values. Now I do see more clearly how the contents children are fed with have the capability of desensitizing them and incentivizing violence. The same goes for hearing Cornel West's and Stuart Hall's lectures, which help me understand where my own prejudices come from and how to combat them, as I have addressed in my journal entries. Furthermore, I was able to confirm many of my beliefs as well. For instance, I always value a classroom with respect and room for critical thinking, and I felt a deep sense of satisfaction when reading authors like Bell Hooks, who defend exactly those aspects in the classroom. See my values, which I didn't have the words to express, be so eloquently elaborated, consequently straightened them. Therefore, contradicting my initial expectations, I do believe this course changed aspects of my life and values. More important than that, it inspired me to continue pursuing knowledge and information, and I look forward to getting my hands on some books by Bell Hooks. Regarding the entries that I assigned as my favorites, I chose Stuart Hall on cultural representation as my favorite because it allowed me to express my views on an issue that I consider important, which is representation in the media. Stuart Hall's lecture made me reevaluate the way representation is being approached nowadays, giving me the chance to write about films and other types of entertainment that I deem successful or as failing in breaking away from stereotypes and representing groups appropriately. The same goes for my second favorite, short journal, literature, and imagination, because interacting with Nussbaum's work, I was able to express my opinions on empathy and art, another topic that often dominates my thoughts when reading a book, for example, and I got to elaborate my thoughts better regarding the value of literature and what role books have in adhering to dominant values and marketability. It is a reflection I recall enjoying writing about, and I believe it is organized and presents original ideas. So thank you for watching.